Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Power of Storytelling. Today we have Jordan Pettway. He went to college, he has some time with Slam Magazine, he works at bars, so he's a lot of experience. It's going to be a really special one here today, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe below, and let's get right into this. We're here with Jordan today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Get it going.
Hi, I'm Jordan Pettway. Currently work for Barstool Sports as a social media specialist, working closely with the Pat Bev Pod and $1 million worth of game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool about the Pat. So what do you do with that?
So with that, I basically run all the social media accounts. But I do a little bit of everything. Like I'll edit some clips, I'll do some shooting sometimes, taking pictures, pretty much like a jack of all trades, all things social media regarding it. Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to just travel around and do stuff with it too. So
Anything like you like the most, or any like memorable moments you have from it?
Probably just seeing like all our content like blow up, get taken by like all like the blogs and like ESPNs of the world. Knowing that like we curated that content, put it out specifically so it could do that. And it came from like my computer or my brain or something. That's a really cool thing that happens.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your experience here. So we're going to talk about the first one. It says you were a paraprofessional at the YMCA. Can you tell us a little bit about that, like what you liked or what you learned?
There I was just like a camp counselor pretty much, just like coming home from college, like having a job, just working with kids and stuff like that.
So kind of just like a summer job.
Yeah.
All right. And the next, I also said that you interned at two places. One was NHTV and another was Frontline Productions. Can you tell us a little bit about how that was for you?
Yeah, those are like my first kind of steps. When I started working in media, they weren't like anything sports related or what I'm doing now, what I wanted to do, but I think they were really necessary for me to have like the experience under my belt. So when it was time to like start looking for things I really wanted to do, I had that experience of working in media. So
Was there anything that taught you or that you liked or didn't like?
um there were like different types of jobs. One was like a production company. Then the other one was like an advertising agency. So just like kind of teaching me the landscape of media in my early stages, like when I was in college.
The next one, it said that you were instructional aide at Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Could you repeat that?
It said so. Next on your experience, it said that you were a structural aide at Wow.
Instructional aid, that one. Is
Yeah,
that
that at least on LinkedIn. If not, we can skip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That also was just like a summer job, I think.
yeah,
Probably should take that off.
you're good. Okay, so then next it said that you were a video production intern at Slam. Can you tell us a little bit about how that one was?
Yeah, that was probably like my coolest internship that I had. It was working with like Slam Magazine or like a basketball company. Um, just pretty much learning like all the ropes of the media landscape. I started in like video production. It was during COVID, so I was able to do it like from home, but that allowed me to do it for like 8 months instead of like 2 months before I went back to school. So I just got so much experience through that. Forever grateful for that opportunity.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit right there, talking about school. So you went to school for was it digital media or something?
Yeah. I went to my major was digital media communications.
So can you kind of take us back about like what made you choose that over everything else?
Yeah, I always had like a hobby of mine was like video editing and like seeing things come to life. It was just time to pick a college major, and that was something I was already interested in. Like it was a hobby of mine since I was young, so I decided to just explore that.
But would you say that your time at college kind of like helped open some doors for you? Or
My college actually required us to do internships, so if I don't even know if young me would have did internships without like having to do them. But like now looking back, like they were definitely needed, so that was definitely a great thing.
Well, would you have any advice for someone that's kind of thinking about going to school and doing digital media or something? Kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely just always get a lot of experience outside of school. Like for me, it was all those internships. For someone else, it could be like just filming or doing things outside. So then they're learning more than what's taught in the classroom.
Now going back to your experience, we're going to talk about the next one, which is being a video editor at Big Blue Up. How's that for you?
Yeah, so once I got like my slam internship, I started connecting with more people. Met a few people. This then a guy needed help with his media company. Had some freelance opportunities. Um, with that, I worked with like he did like a lot of stuff for like Netflix and stuff like that. So I was able to edit like a few like quick videos for Netflix and stuff like that. That also taught me a lot about organization with my files and all of that. I was still like young and in college, so he taught me a lot about like having everything organized. So I could look back at it if I ever need to and things like that. So that was a great experience as well.
About being a video producer.
Um, just like making things come to life. Having ideas start in my head and then have them come into like videos or photos or something like that. It's always like a cool thing to see something you thought of like put out to the public.
Do you have like any examples of that you've done in the past?
Um yeah, just like work, like for work wise, like just like seeing um like quote cards that I came up with, or like putting together a video edit that started from scratch and then ends up on like social media, has like 500K views, a million views, like just to see people like enjoying what I'm putting out, like knowing it's like professional work, it's always like a pleasure.
Maybe like kind of shocked first when you started making these videos and the most
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
was that a little bit shocking at all first, or like when you started like, when your videos were put up and they were 500,000 views? It's like
Oh yeah, yeah, it's definitely like crazy. 'Cause I remember like just wanting like 500 views for my videos or something just to like know where I started from. And now knowing like it's like a different, I'm setting a different standard for myself. I'm always trying to like keep growing, keep getting better, but it's always nice to look back and like where you came from. So
so kindly enough that it's a question we asked everybody here on the SLA Foundation podcast, but like what is success look like to you?
what does what look like to me? I'm sorry.
Success.
Oh, success. I think success is what you make it. It's not always about like a dollar figure or amount of views or something like that. You should always have like certain goals for yourself, and if you're like proud of your work, you see like results, you're getting better. I think that's success in itself.
So you were freelance before, and since I said they were freelance video editor, slam. How was that?
Freelancing was cool. It's basically like you kind of like pick what jobs you want to do. Pretty much, it's not like you're under a full contract with someone. So you kind of get to pick whatever you want to do. It's definitely a grind. But like it allows you to work with different companies at the same time instead of being tied under one. Um, I'll say that I needed that to like learn how to like be able to travel and move, like work on the fly. Like someone hits me up like, oh, we're about to leave in 2 days or something. And like you just have to be kind of ready for that. And it allowed me to like travel all over the place and stuff too. So it was pretty cool.
Next, can you tell us a little bit about your time with overtime?
My time with overtime was cool. That was like my first non-freelance job. So like working with one company, learned a lot through them. They're like a huge company now. I remember like being in high school and first hearing about them and then ended up working for them. And they're like another huge basketball company. So just knowing like just keeping like steps for myself, like, oh, I got here, like, and I'm like still kind of young. So I just want to see where I could take it in the future.
Do you have any favorite moments from that, or like anything that you learned from it?
Any favorite moments from what?
All your time with overtime.
Um, With overtime, just kind of like the same thing, seeing like videos go crazy. I remember like the first video I did was like a LeBron type of edit, and then it got like 300, not 300, it got like 3 million views on TikTok or something like that. And that was like just one of the first videos I did just to work, be able to work with somebody with such a huge following and see my work on their platforms, knowing that like I'm a professional, that like help prove to myself like, yeah, like I'm a professional now. Um, everything I do like led up to this. So
Would you say that networking kind of helped you in these roles, or has networking?
yeah, 1000%. That's probably like the biggest thing, especially in the media business. You could probably be like the best editor or best at something, but like if you're not able to like talk to people and connect with people, it'll be hard for you to go far because they want someone they could like trust and connect with.
Would you have any advice for somebody that's kind of trying to get into the industry?
Yeah, just like don't be afraid to meet people. It could be like overwhelming at times to see like so many people like trying to get in the media space, but like everyone, like there's enough room for everyone. Just like continue to meet people, ask them questions. Like, if you like their work, ask them like how do they do this, how do they do that, apply it to your own work, and you just see like a lot of success from that.
Would you say that it's a pretty competitive industry? Or?
Yeah, definitely. There's so many different avenues. I feel like it's just the beginning of like media and media success. Like you could be filming sports, you could film like cars, cooking, things like that. Definitely a competitive industry because a lot of people are trying to do it, but like it's just like anything else. Like if you really want to be like at the top per se, or like have a good stable job for it, you have to just put the work in.
So you kind of talked about it there, like media. It's kind of good content from basketball. Do you just have a strong passion for basketball, or is there anything that kind of makes you go for that?
Um, yeah, I grew up playing basketball. That's kind of how I got my start. I used to watch like a bunch of basketball videos and stuff. So I knew like I wasn't going pro or anything like that. So I thought like the next best thing would be to like join the media space. Because I just wanted to be around it. I never really wanted to coach after. So I just thought like that would be my way to stay around it, and it ended up working out.
And the next one on there was a little bit different. It definitely made me interested, but it said that you were an owner at Shake Squad Media. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so besides like the Barstool overtime slam stuff, like I always like wanted to do my own media company. So with that, I was able to create my own LLC and travel around recording like high school basketball. I was able to work with like some of like the top kids in the country, like that same way, like just networking with them. I've been in their shoes before, so it was kind of like easier for me to connect with them. So I traveled to like Nike tournaments and stuff like that, recording like some of the best kids in the country, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, has that like taught you anything about like actually being the owner of it?
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy job. I wish I had more time for it, but like, I still work with Barstool and all that stuff. But like I never want to like just stop doing it altogether because that's like literally mine, and I created everything around it. So maybe like one day I could just like have do that or something. But as of right now, I'm fine with connecting both. And when I have time, going to travel around with kids and stuff like that. So
Do you have any advice for somebody that kind of would want to start up like a similar business?
um yeah, definitely. I would say like the biggest thing with that is also networking. You might not get paid a lot of money off rip, or you might not get paid anything off rip. It could just start out as like you being creative. Then as you see like yourself getting better, people start to notice you more. That's when you start to grow like the business side and all of that. So because at first it just started as like a hobby page for me. I never expected it to become like a business. So
That's pretty awesome. That actually grew enough for it to become a business. And so, kind of in high school or in college, would you say that you kind of have any mentors to help guide you throughout your journey?
um throughout high school, I took like I feel like my first introduction, I took like a class of like it's called like intro graphics. We learned like basic Photoshop and stuff like that. That was kind of like my intro to a lot of the stuff. Then like I said, I just been editing. I knew how to edit videos when I was like a young kid. I used to just love going on YouTube and seeing stuff like that. So I guess like a lot of like YouTube platforms taught me. And then in college, there was like a lot of great teachers around me that they weren't really into like the social media side of things, but like just like them like pushing me, like they could like kind of see some of my talents and they're like, yeah, like you need to like keep going at this, keep getting better. Definitely motivated me.
Would you say, since you're the one that's kind of like producing the media, would like, are would you say that there are haters on some of the things you do, like people that just kind of like hate for no reason?
Did you say haters?
Yeah.
Um,
Try to find anything.
Honestly, now like I never noticed it before, but now I might see like one or two. But like I know like I'm getting that's how I knew like all right, I'm getting kind of like a little bit bigger because that's it's always gonna come with it. Like some people like this sucks or something, but it's gonna be like way more people that actually like my work and stuff. So I'm not too worried about that.
Kind of like a I made it moment again.
Yeah, I don't think I've like fully made it yet, but like that's kind of like the start of like okay, like 500,000 people are seeing this. Like, of course, a couple people might not like it. So
So we're gonna talk about your most recent role at Barstool and being a social media specialist. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah, being with Barstool has been great. They've from the jump they let me like have I start my like own voice with the two brands that I'm working on. As long as I'm like getting what I have to get done, like nothing is like too strenuous. It's been cool to just work with like a bunch of like professional athletes and now starting to do like a lot of like culture type of things. I'm looking forward to see like I haven't even really been there a year yet. It's been like 8 months, but so far it's been amazing. So
So you said you worked with some professional athletes. Do you have like any memorable moments with some of them?
mainly we work close with like Patrick Beverly, who's now in the Sixers. His of course like that's his show. But then like through that, like we went to like a Bulls game. They played like the Sixers. Like that's like just going to record like some of my favorite players. Is definitely cool. And then like just having guests on the show. Like we had like Draymond Green on the show. We've had like T Mac on the show, Gilbert Arenas on the show. And then like just being able to create content off of like these people like I grew up watching is just super cool.
So this is our last question of the podcast. It's just, do you have any final like advice or anything else you'd like to promote to the viewers?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
So for the last question I have for you is, do you have any final advice you'd like to give our viewers or anything you'd like to promote?
Um, yeah, just always like chase what you want to do. A lot of people, I'm like a lot of people used to kind of tell me like, oh, you probably shouldn't get into media because it's not like such a secure thing. But I kind of like my parents always grew me to like, oh, do what you want to do, like, and if you give it your all, like it'll work out. So yeah, definitely try to just follow your dreams and see what's made of it.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for hopping on the pod. It was definitely really beneficial. And I bet also viewers as well. It was really awesome just hearing all the insight you have just working out with companies and like Maven, Slam, Barstool. At least from the position I'm in, those just seem like such big companies. It's making it for them to see. And
Thank
then uh that'll be it for today. Thanks for
you.
hopping on.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Where do you release this?
Had a blast with this one here today, guys. We learned a lot about video editing, just working at major companies and all this. Kind of give us some advice about how college can open some doors for you as well. And then we're gonna have some more episodes coming soon. I think there should be some videos popping up here. And until next time.